Upadesamrta, verse 4. Dadāti pratigṛhṇāti, guhyam akyati pritchati, bhunkte bhojayate chaiva, shadvidam pritilakshanam. Translation: offering gifts and accepting gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence and inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad and offering prasad. These are the 6 symptoms of love shared by devotees. Illumination. These are the 6 kinds of association with a sadhu. Higher association is only possible with a serving attitude. Otherwise, there is no sangha. Lower association means exploitation and enjoyment, but higher association can only be achieved through service. By proper association, the quality of your service will increase. Sadhu Sangha and Sadhu Seva is of most importance. The Gaudiya Mat stresses the importance of Sadhu Seva, serving the sadhu. Whatever you do by the command of the higher devotee will, through him, surely connect you with a higher conception of the Absolute. Whatever you do, do with that connection from above, and carry out his order. Offering gifts and accepting gifts. Dadāti pratigṛhṇāti. We shall come to present new things to the sadhus, and try to live by the old remnants left by them, giving something for the service of a sadhu and taking his prasadam. Whatever he gives, we accept that. We can increase our attraction and love for a person in such a way by giving him raw items and by accepting his prasadam. To give items to be utilized by him and whatever is necessary for ourselves. I won't try to take anything new, but only that which has been rejected by the Vaishnav or Guru, whether it is a garland, clothes, different decorations, or whatever. We shall try to live by the remnants of the Vaishnavas. We shall present new things to the sadhus, and we shall try to live by their remnants. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. Give and take. Give and take eternally, internally and externally, whatever my position. In taking, we get a higher thing from him. Raw materials we supply, and we get remnants from him. In this way, I can improve my position. If we accept the energy of worldly men, then generally our minds will become polluted and impure. And if the mind is impure, then the remembrance of Krishna will not be very clear. Vishayira anna kaile, malina haya mana, malina manna haile nahe Krishnera smarana. If one eats the food of a materialist, one's mind becomes polluted. When the mind becomes polluted, one cannot remember Krishna. From the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya-lila, 6:278. When I accept the elaborate energy of a materialist, then the poison of his mind comes with his energy, with his money, and all these things. The energy comes carrying the mentality of the owner. To accept that means to digest that. But one who is able to digest it can utilize it. Vishasya visham aushadam. Poison is medicine to poison. Poison can also be utilized as medicine. The divine agent can utilize poison as nectar. Otherwise, it will kill the person who is taking the energy of the materialist. Only madhukari bhiksha, collecting from a particular person, will take away his sin or virtue. Anything that comes with his energy is transmitted. We are feeding on him, exploiting him, and that exploitation must have a reaction. Madhukara. Just as bees collect every particle of honey from here and there, they do not care so much, they do not look to get any return for that. A small particle, perhaps, it does not matter. If we collect our food in that way, then there is no possibility of some reaction coming. Madhukari Bhiksha has been recommended for the Tyagis. But we Gaudiya Math people collect their energy as much as we can utilize. Our aim is a little different. We want to help them, and we do not collect it for our personal purpose. It is for the general service of the Lord and His devotees. In an organic way we help them. We will use the energy from impure sources, and by hook or by crook, utilize that in the fire sacrifice that is lit in a grand way for the satisfaction of Krishna and His activity. What is that activity? The chanting of His name on a big scale. Sankirtan Yajna, a great sacrificial organic attempt, has been accepted, and we are to collect things for that. And because I am also rendering some service, as remuneration, I may take something. For the purpose of service, I am to maintain my health, and I shall take only what is necessary. This is Yukta Vairagya. We are not taking anything for our personal utilization, so we do not feel any contamination. One will suffer if he collects another's energy for his own selfish purpose. But if he can utilize the energy of someone for the service of Krishna, in the congregational chanting of His name, to purify the whole world, then there is no apprehension of being contaminated by that energy. What we receive we think we have got from our Guru. I am eating the remnants of my Gurudev. I am doing some service, and as a servant, I am entitled to take some remains. Tena tyaktena bunjita magrada kasya svidhanam. We have no greed for others' property, but it is all being utilized for their benefit in the Sankirtan Yajna. And as a servant, I have got some duty to discharge. Therefore, I am to keep my body fit, and for that purpose, I am taking the avashesh, remnants. Tvayopabhukta shraggandavaso lankara charchita uchishta bhojino dasas tavamayam jayemahi. By decorating ourselves with the garlands, scents, clothes, and ornaments that you have already enjoyed, and by eating the remnants of your food, we, your servants, will certainly conquer your illusory potency. From the Srimad Bhagavatam 11:6-46. Uddhava says that there are ways of getting out of this Mayic entanglement. Only by honoring your remains can we conquer Maya. I am grateful to you and none else in this world. I am your servant, and I must live on the remains after you have taken. Thereby, by this single attempt, we can conquer the whole world. There is no glamour for anything else in this world for us. That is the nature of the attempt of this organized preaching of the Gaudiya Math. You can even accept a kingdom, but not for yourself, but for God. And from whomever they take, he is benefited. With this angle of vision, we will be individually responsible for our transaction with the outside parties. When something is dedicated for the service of Krishna, it is a conscious unit. Will a man allow his wife to serve another gentleman? Will she allow? Everything is meant for Krishna consciousness, and not for any other consciousness, only for him. Everything here is exclusively meant for Krishna, and no other God. We are not materialists. Everything is conscious and fresh, and no other spirit is allowed except to fully dedicate oneself to the Lord. It is such. Every flower born here is only to satisfy Krishna. Radharani will curse us if we try to utilize it for the service of others. They are all meant for this. They will curse us. Here in the temple also, trespassers may pluck flowers. For medicinal purposes they will take some things, but it pains my heart. They are all meant for the service of Krishna. For medicinal purposes, some people may take a root or something. I ask them, go to Mahaprabhu, take his permission, then take it. If it is necessary and it cannot be avoided, then I tell them, go, you get his permission first. Once I heard at the Yogapit, the appearance place of Mahaprabhu, there was one Kadamba tree. At that time, Prabhupada was coming out to go to Calcutta, And one devotee said, "A new flower has come on the kadamba tree. It has not been given to Prabhupada." He took a flower and ran towards the car of Prabhupada. Prabhupada asked, "What is this?" "A new flower from the Yogapit temple tree." "A new flower? We have come to show you, Prabhupada, and we shall give to Mahaprabhu." "Then go and show it to Mahaprabhu, take his permission, and then bring it to me. I am going away now. If I was staying, you could put it in my hand and I could show him. But I am going away. Now go and show him, and then bring it to me. You have got to take his permission." That is prasad, anugraha, dedicated. To show him is to dedicate. Then we can take the prasad. He is our shelter. This is the key to our life. Tena tyaktena. After offering to him, then you use it. Yagya shishashina santo, muchyante sarva kilbishai, munjate te tvagam papa, ye pachantyatma karanat. Saintly persons are liberated from all types of sins by accepting the remnants of foodstuffs offered in sacrifice. However, those who cook for themselves eat only sin. Bhagavad Gita 3:13. Whenever you dedicate anything to your own self, you create sin. You create disharmony in the environment. But if you offer to the center, yagya, to Vishnu, and then you use, harmony is maintained. Everything is created to serve Krishna. Everything. You must dedicate anything and everything to him, and then you can take the prasad remaining. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Everywhere, everything is in the possession of the Supreme Entity. Everything belongs to him. There should be no disturbance to the law and order. The law and order of the whole should be kept intact. You live here as a loyal subject. You all live as loyal subjects. Not illegal, physically or even mentally. Thought, word, and deed, you must be a loyal subject in this kingdom of the Lord. That is what is required from us. Then there is peace and harmony, and no reaction. Otherwise there will be reaction, and you will have to suffer for that. Revealing one's mind and inquiring confidentially. Guhyam akhyati. I should reveal my innermost feelings to the sadhu. From my innermost heart I feel these many particular things within myself. Are these feelings good or bad? And if bad, what is the remedy? We shall place our inner heart before him so that he may examine us and proceed accordingly. Whatever the innermost feeling is, that should be divulged to a sadhu. I must reveal everything of the whole heart to him, and also hear what is conceived within his heart. The private things within my heart must be disclosed, and what are the private things within his heart I must get. I shall inquire about what is the inner wealth within his heart. Prichati, inquiry. We will ask his advice and put questions. What will be necessary for me at this stage? What is the secret of your holy life? Please tell me, and I shall try to follow that example in order to get out of my present circumstances. In your case, how did you gain relief? We shall try to collect the secrets of success of life from a sadhu. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadeśāmṛta te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. Such knowledge should be achieved through submission, inquiry, and service to those who are wise and have seen the supreme truth. From the Bhagavad Gita 4:34. Pariprashna. Honest, sincere inquiry is always allowed, but not with the tendency of tarka, argument. Not with argument, but all our efforts should be concentrated to understand in a positive line, without leaving a state of doubt or suspicion. With all attention you shall try to understand, because it is coming from a higher source, where I am not known. Pariprashna will be the outcome of surrender. I am hopeless. I can't ascertain. It is a dire necessity for me, but I can't help myself. It will be with this hankering and with no remedy. I shall most humbly try and start to inquire modestly. I shall try to know what is this, what is that, what is the meaning. The mood should not be that I shall finish knowing about this matter. That sort of attitude will not allow us to enter into the real domain. Nor should we inquire simply out of curiosity, or for philosophical mastership, or anything of that kind. It is only necessary for the satisfaction of the Lord. Reality is by itself and for itself. It must be for himself. For his interest, this prashna is necessary. Inquiry should be made only to satisfy Krishna and the devotees of Krishna, for his cause, not for my cause, if it is independent of his satisfaction. Another most important thing, and that is also necessary for service. Service is the only important thing. What is necessary? What will be necessary to render proper service? That sort of pariprashna is required, a dire necessity for service, for discharging my duty. I want to serve the cause, not to lord it over. If the spirit within is to lord it over, everything will be spoiled. It is not a plane of us being masters. It is not something that we can use according to our whim. We are putting ourselves into the fire. What I am, that will vanish, and from within, my higher divine self will come out. What I am presently is a nasty thing, but what is within me, that is divine and noble. With this hope, we shall go. Giving and accepting prasadam. Bhunkte, to feed the sadhu and supply what is necessary to keep up his life, and bhojayate, receiving prasadam from him. What is prasadam? Prasadam is the grace of Krishna, the will of Krishna. Whatever comes from the infinite should be considered as grace, and whatever we do should be with the spirit of service, not with the result of trade. Na sabritya savaivanik. We shall do anything and everything with the aim of serving the infinite. With clean hands we shall do his work. With clean hands, not contaminated by any consequence. Service and prasad are corresponding. Whatever comes from the infinite environment, that is prasad, grace. Once Professor Sanyal, who wrote the English book, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, was challenged by his younger brother, who was perhaps a graduate. He told him, "What do you do there in your mutt? What we do, you also do in the mutt." No, we don't do what you do." "You do not eat?" "No, we don't eat." "I have seen you with my own eyes. You are eating." "No, we don't eat like you, devouring solid things, putting into the stomach. We don't do that. We serve Mahaprasadam. It is beyond your understanding what we do. We don't eat like you. There is no spirit of consumption. We don't consume anything. We honor the remnants of the Lord. That is what we do. Such will be the difference of all the activities of the true Vaishnav and the worldly man. For self-preservation, we create havoc in the environment. Exploitation. The first principle of exploitation begins with self-preservation. That means eating. If we can solve that problem, we can solve almost anything. Prasada seva karite hai, shakala prapancha jai. By honoring the Lord's prasadam, I conquer all worldly illusions. Sharanagati 3:5. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that the key to the solution to this mundane life is in prasad. It is in our attitude in dealing with the environment, in the most primitive necessity that we cannot avoid maintaining and keeping this body and soul together. The first necessity in this life is this, and if I can solve that problem, I have solved the whole thing. Prasāda seva karite hoy shakala prapancha jai. The most important problem is to learn how we should take prasadam to maintain our own self. Our life depends mainly on prapancha jai, conquering over worldly illusion. We cannot but consume. We cannot but create devastation in the environment, eating whatever, either creeper or grass or seed or anything. Microscopic worms are being killed. So how to get rid of this karmic reaction? Yagyartat karmano yatra loko yam karma bandhana. All activities are meant for the sake of sacrifice to Vishnu. Other than that, all other activities bind one to this material world. From the Bhagavad Gita 3:9. We must successfully connect our activities with the supreme satisfaction for which everything is meant. All existence is meant to fulfill His pleasure, and if one does so, then his life will be fulfilled. If I offer something, really I am to collect something for His satisfaction, and cook and offer it to Him. That should be the real purpose. And then because I am to serve Him, I must take something out of that. The main thing will be to collect things, to cook and to offer them to Him, according to the scriptures, where He has expressed His will. That is the process. And then to take. When He takes, then the reaction, the poison, has already gone to Him, and like Mahadev, He can digest anything. Not only that, but whatever has gone to His connection gets promotion. There is no himsa, violence. Himsa is not himsa, because which is apparently violent. Himsa is not himsa, because that which is apparently violently treated gets higher promotion through my actions. I get some reward also for that. And then what shall I take? I won't take from this world, but I shall take from my Master, as His free grace to me. The word prasad means anugraha, kindness, grace. Whatever service I do, I expect nothing in return, and what I get is His grace, a free transaction. I shall take prasad, then I shall be out of all entanglement, although I am in the midst of it. In every action I disturb the environment, but it is meant for Him. No reaction, but the opposite reaction occurs, and it will save others also. Through me such waves will emanate outside. Those waves will help others also to be purified. Everyone must be a purifying agent through the godliness in his heart. God is on the throne of the heart, and thereby He will emanate a ray, such a fine ray that will purify the environment. Self-surrender to the prime cause. Shadvidam pritilakshanam. These are the 6 ways through which we generally get the association of a sadhu. If we follow these guidelines, we shall come closer to a person. If we deal in these ways with a bad man, we shall become bad, and with a good man, we shall become good. There are 2 types of water, filtered and filthy. Filthy water can be purified. The higher sadhus can take evil thoughts from others without becoming contaminated. In their hearts resides Govinda. Govinda is infinite, and He can consume any quantity of filthy things. Therefore their hearts cannot be contaminated. If we get the association of a real sadhu, even for a moment, then that may turn the direction of our life. A sadhu is like a very valuable gem. What he gives is far more valuable than anything in this world. One may have gems, diamonds, money, or a kingdom, but they are not valuable to all. This is all mortal. They may be valuable to a particular class of human thought. There are so many things in creation that are nothing to the sadhu. But anandam, sweetness, has got a general value. It is necessary even for the tree, the creeper, and even the stone. In whatever position the seeker may be in, he will be highly satisfied. Yasmin prapti sarvam idam praptam bhavati. If we get a little of that, we think that no other thing but this can satisfy me. This is the thing for which I am striving for after so many lives together. Now I have found the object of my search. We can get higher things only through the connection of service. If we want the association of things of a higher type, then we must offer ourselves to their service. This broad thought we must keep always in mind. I cannot utilize it as if it is my servant, but I shall offer to be a servant of him if I really want his association. Only through service I can be connected with him. I shall work for his interest. His interest will be more valuable than that of mine. Jivera swarupa hoy Krishnera nityadas, Krishnera tatashta shakti bheda beda prakash. The constitutional position of the living entity is as an eternal servant of Krishna. Because the living entity is of the marginal potency of Krishna, his manifestation is simultaneously one with and different from him. From the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 20:108. It is our fortune that we, in our constitutional position, have the position of a slave to Krishna. Slavery. Those who are freed would be astounded to hear the word slavery. The Gaudiya Mutt is preaching slavery. The Ramakrishna Mission and others preached against Gaudiya Mutt. They are preaching slavery. This Gaudiya Mutt promotes slave mentality, that I am Krishna Das, a servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. That means they are preaching slave mentality. And we are preaching Soham. We are the big Brahman. We are the biggest. We are the greatest. Instead of that, the Gaudiya Mutt says, you are a slave to Krishna. The Gaudiya Mutt is creating a bad impression in society, discouraging people. Prabhupada told, Gaudiya Mutt stands for the dignity of the human race. The whole human race wants immortality. Gaudiya Mutt stands for the most dignified position, slavery, surrender. Surrender to what? To the absolute good, to the absolute center. To become the slave of Krishna is not a joke. That impossible thinking that I am Brahman, that is the greatest disease. I am the biggest, and I want to be the monarch of all I survey, means I am the most heinous exploiting agent. We are so eager to get imperial service. We are so eager to get a higher service in the administration. But to get service in the highest management of the Supreme Lord, that is the most dignified thing. The Gaudiya Mutt stands for the dignity of the human race. What is the human race? They are like mist, like the trees, creepers, and worms, the prey of death. The king will also have to die helplessly, the big general, the politician, all will have to go and face death for eternity. But the Gaudiya Mutt stands for the eternal dignified position, friendly service to the supreme entity. The Gaudiya Mutt says complete self-abnegation, self-surrender to the prime cause. To give is divine, and the aspiration that I can get, that is devilish. I want to lord it over everything, that is a devilish spirit. But Krishna is such that slavery to him is the highest attainment for us in his relationship. That is not easily achieved.